In the 1950s and 60s, bank employees in Sarawak had to work long hours with minimum pay and benefits. Without the union, their terms and conditions of employment are dictated by the banks. Finally, they decided that enough is enough. In 1964, employees of the Chartered Bank, Hong Kong and Shanghai Banking Corporation, Overseas Chinese Banking Corporation and Hokkwa Bank got together to form a union to fight for their rights. On 22 September 1966, the Sarawak Bank Employees Union (SBEU) was registered under the Trades Unions Act 1959. From this humble beginning, SBEU expanded throughout Sarawak. The Cebu branch was formed on the 31st of October 1971, then Miri on the 3rd of June 1972. The union set up its Bintulu branch on the 20th of January 1978 and the Sarike branch on the 16th of February 1992. SBEU moved into its headquarters at King Centre, Kuching on the 1st of January 1999. In 1992, SBEU expanded our scope to include bank-owned finance companies, and within 2 years, the union organized all 500 eligible employees. In 1997, our scope was further expanded to include employees in all financial institutions registered under the Banking and Financial Institutions Act. Currently, SBEU has more than 2,500 members, representing 95% of eligible employees in the banking industry. Our members can be found in all 150 bank branches in 24 towns throughout Sarawak. A union's primary role is to bargain for better terms and conditions of employment for its members. SBEU concluded the first ever collective agreement with the Chartered Bank on the 6th of December 1966 with a starting salary of 120 ringgit. Collective agreements with OCBC and HSBC were signed in 1967. 1976 saw the formation of the Sarawak Commercial Banks Association, a trade union of employers which covers the following banks: Bank Bumiputra, Banchang Bank, Kwong Bank, Chartered Bank, Hong Kong and Shanghai Banking Corporation, Overseas Chinese Banking Corporation. The formation of SCBA provides a platform to standardize the terms and conditions of employment for the banking industry in Sarawak. The SCBA-SBEU's collective agreement was eventually extended to all banks and finance companies in Sarawak. Since then, we have concluded 10 collective agreements with SCBA. In 1980, via an Industrial Court Award, salary scales for bank employees throughout Malaysia was standardized. In addition, employees in Sarawak are paid a monthly Sarawak allowance that range from 15% to 25% of their salary. In 1987, a successful challenge to the Supreme Court saw retirement benefits at 16% of gross salary instead of the statutory 12%. Over the years, the Industrial Court and collective bargaining practice has established the wage fixation principle that salary increase should not exceed 2/3 of the increase in the Consumer Price Index for the relevant period.
You can have a salary increase based on the CPI principle that for every 3 years, your real income is going to be cut by 1/3.
Do you want discrimination? No! Solidarity forever!
In 1989, SBEU and NUBE, after taking the nationwide protest action, successfully challenged this principle. As a result, the Industrial Court awarded the salary increase that is more than 2/3 of the CPI. This landmark decision was subsequently upheld by the High Court. In 1991, the banks agreed to extend medical benefits to family of employees and pay childcare allowance to female employees with children.
60% of our members are women, and this still increased. SBEU must continue to work to ensure that women's needs and aspirations are met. We also need to encourage women to play a proactive role in SBEU.
In 1994, tellers do not have to pay for cash shortages anymore. Occupational safety and health provisions were incorporated into the CA in 1997. Code of Conduct for Prevention of Sexual Harassment in the CA in 2003. SBEU is the first union to initiate the reduction of sick leave entitlement in our efforts to improve productivity of our members. We are also the first union to agree to a reduction in benefits to assist our employers to cope with the aftermath of the 1997 financial crisis. In 2002, the banks wanted to have complete freedom to outsource and contract out jobs. While Sabah and NUBE agreed, SBEU rejected the demands and went to court to maintain these crucial safeguards on job security. Our action was justified when the Industrial Court handed down an award maintaining the safeguards and at the same time awarding a 12% salary increase. Salary increases since has averaged more than 10% for each CA and was as high as 34% in 1994. Since then, SBEU has been taking the lead in negotiating for CA that has paved the way for a nationwide agreement.
Now, moving forward, it is very important that SBU must introduce a performance-based system. We need to push for it because salary increase based on the consumer price index would not lead to an increase in the standard of living, and the reason is simple. Any salary increase, be it 10%, 20%, right? If the cost of living goes up similarly, then any increase will be offset. Now, SBU believe that the only way forward is through a performance-based system, which means that we can increase the value of a job. It will lead to the increased productivity, efficiency of the banks, and same time our members' value comes up, and therefore their income goes up, which would be above the CPI. Therefore, standard of living goes up. Of course, it's very, very important that such a system, a performance-based system, must be within the framework of the collective agreement. So that's one way to ensure that the system will be fair, it will be transparent, and it would be equitable, and that members' interests can be adequately protected by the union.
Apart from enjoying traditional benefits of union protection and negotiation for better salary and conditions of employment, SBEU provide value-added benefits and services for members and their families. These include our group insurance scheme, SBEU Benevolent Fund, and corporate credit card.
We must give value-added services to our members and their families.
The union placed great emphasis on training and education for its members. Since 1985, more than 300 training courses were conducted for its members. SBEU officials are also sent for professional training and courses.
Our training is geared towards developing leadership qualities. We train our members and our officials not only to be productive and effective union members, but also as responsible and productive employees in the banking and financial institution.
SBEU has throughout the years taken it upon ourselves to contribute to the less fortunate members of our society. 3 statewide jogathons in 1991, 1994 and 2005 raised more than 500,000 ringgit for welfare and charity projects. Members themselves also contribute 10% of their areas for charity every 3 years. The aspirations and needs of bank and finance employees today are much different compared to 40 years ago. The quality of life and standard of living has increased tremendously. Bread and butter issue can no longer be the sole preoccupation of our union.
The quality of life and standard of living has increased tremendously. Bread and butter issue can no longer be the priority of our union.
SBEU's very own Union Yes Retreat and Training Center at Sia Beach, Lundu is a big step in this direction. The retreat is the first of its kind to be wholly owned by a union in the country, which commenced operations on Labor Day, 1st of May 2006.
Our future success depends very much on our ability, courage and vision to adopt new initiatives for the benefits of our members.
Located just by clear blue waters of the South China Sea, This beachfront property is the perfect place for members and their families to escape from the stress of banking work and enjoy a weekend getaway. Equipped with resort-style facilities and hotel-standard accommodation, the retreat is ideal for corporate and group outings, outdoor training and team-building activities for up to 200 packs. A perfect mix of accommodation comprising hostels, deluxe or superior room and 2-bedroom penthouse suites to suit all family or group requirements. When the 70 bank employees got together and formed the SBEU 40 years ago, little did they realize that they have laid down the foundation upon which SBEU built itself into one of the most successful unions in Malaysia. The beginning of the 21st century brought in an era of great challenge with the ongoing structural changes in the banks. Globalization and deregulation of financial services and advances in information communication technologies has put pressure in job creation and exert tremendous stress for our members. The banking job as we know it 40 years ago is drastically different today and will change further and faster in the next few years as envisaged in the Bank Negara Malaysia Financial Sector Master Plan. How effective SBEU will be in the crucial years ahead will depend on how well we can adapt to the ever-changing world of work. SBEU must remain relevant to the needs and aspiration of bank and financial employees. We must not forget our roots and core values. We need to expand our scope of membership to all financial services, including insurance and outsourced services. We must be allowed to do so by the government. For the past 40 years, SBEU faced countless obstacles, frustrations and even ridicule from their own colleagues. However, the spirit of unionism never swayed. In these challenging times, it is all the more crucial that bank employees must not think that we don't need the union. With the courage, solidarity and tremendous sacrifices of each and every member, bank employees in Sarawak now enjoy attractive terms and conditions of employment. Let us not forget that it is only through the collective effort of each and every member of SBEU that we achieve what we have achieved. Ultimately, each and every member must remain committed to the solidarity and unity of SBEU. Only then can the union look forward with confidence and proudly say